cheesy pasta bake is typically what follows my family bolognese dinner. So I will usually have leftovers because I do make quite a lot, but I don't have enough to make a full-on lasagna. So what I do is use this roll-up technique to make my leftovers go further, plus just looks really beautiful. Let's do this. First of all, I'm going to make the cheese sauce. Now, I don't want to take credit where it's undue because I have borrowed this recipe from America's Test Kitchen. Now, if you haven't checked out their stuff, I love it. They're very technical and often have lots of really great hacks and cheats. This is a cottage cheese. I have some Parmesan cheese as well, some cream. In Australia, we call this thickened cream. Elsewhere, it's called pure cream, or I believe half and half. There are many names for cream, which is very confusing. Someone should get a standardization thing going on. Okay, corn flour as well. The corn flour is a trick here because it's kind of what helps to stabilize and keep things nice and thick as the cheese sauce cooks in the lasagna. And then one more thing here for flavor, and that is my nutmeg. So nutmeg is such a beautiful spice. I think it's underserved when you buy it pre-grated. When you buy it in the little, nut, yeah, I guess that's the nut, and you grate it fresh, the flavor is unparalleled. It's so beautiful and so arresting. I love the flavor of it. It's very comforting. I'm just going to mix all that together, a little pinch of salt here. So of course this is in place of making and cooking a bechamel. I'm just going to add a little bit of thyme here, some fresh thyme. And so you can see the texture of this sauce is quite thick and chunky, which is what I want, because when we do the roll-ups, we want this to be lovely and spreadable rather than kind of like pourable. I'm also going to put this in the fridge to firm up a little bit, and then we're going to make our lasagna sheets. So I have my boiling water here, a little bit of salt, or a lot of salt. It's such a force of habit just saying a little bit of salt, but you actually want quite a lot of salt in your pasta cooking water. They say that it should be as salty as the sea. I mean, maybe not quite that salty, but you do want to infuse that pasta with your lovely salted water. At least I can agree with the Italians on that point. Okay, I have pasta sheets here. These are dried egg pasta sheets. And they're not the instant type, because of course you can get the instant type where you're laying them flat and they don't need cooking. These ones require cooking. You need to keep moving the pasta sheets around so they don't stick together. So get your tongs in there, kind of like separate them as they cook, move them around. You kind of need to really pay attention here. And then once they reach that al dente kind of stage, you can pull them out and place them onto some baking paper. This makes sure that you don't get any sticking issues happening later on, and do that in layers. So place another baking sheet on top, put more of your lasagna sheets out, and keep going until they're all laid out. It doesn't matter if some of these split, we are going to roll them up so you won't be able to tell. I'm just going to spread a little bit of my bolognese in the bottom of my baking dish. Everything here is cold. The bolognese is cold, my cheese sauce is cold, and that is so that I can easily assemble and spread everything. So now we get a little bit crafty. So take some scissors and just cut your lasagna sheets in half. And then smush over some of your cheese sauce. You don't have to be so like fine dining here, like just kind of smush it, because you're going to roll it up anyway later on. And then this is where a miniature ice cream scoop comes in handy. Just a little bit of bolognese, just one scoop on each sort of pasta sheet. Give that a spread as well. I will sometimes get Charlie to help me do this. You know those things where everyone's like, oh, get the kids to help with this. Well, yeah, that's fine, but they always make a big mess. But Charlie is getting quite good now at doing these roll-ups, so she's allowed to do some helping. So once you've got your lovely pinwheel situation here, so cute, I love that. I'm going to cut that in half again, just because I think it's too tall for our dish here. It's going to make such a lovely pattern. Okay. And now you just keep going. I have to say, this is a really satisfying process, particularly when you've got all your sheets laid out and nothing is sticking, so it actually doesn't really take very much time. And I do find that you use less bolognese because I find that with leftover bolognese, I don't have quite enough to make a proper lasagna, but I do have enough to kind of make this special little treat. Now, if I have any leftover cheese sauce, I'm not going to waste that. Pop it into little crevices here. And now I have some more cheese. A little bit of mozzarella, stir over the top there. I'm just going to bake this in a hot oven around about 200 Celsius until it's all golden and oozy. Look at that. I just love how beautiful that is. And just from leftovers, I mean, so amazing. Look at that cheese. You still got that beautiful pattern. All right, now, typically I would wait and just let this rest for a little bit, but I'm gonna get in here because I want to show you what it's all about in there. Look at that cheese oozing. Oh, look at that. And you know what's really great? So with a typical lasagna, you only get sort of just like the one edge that runs around the edge of the dish. But with this, you kind of got like a whole top layer of that curly, crispy pasta going on. So if you love the edge of the lasagna like I do, you are gonna love this one. Okay. There's one massive piece. I might have got a bit excited. Now there's lots of this yummy kind of sauce at the bottom here. I'm just going to drizzle that around the side. A drizzle of olive oil, and this is my finishing olive oil. So really good extra virgin. A little sprinkle of salt and some basil leaves. And that, my friends, I think is a stunning way to use up leftover bolognese. It's cheesy, it's meaty, and that beautiful like egg lasagna is so delicious.